Hey YouTubers, whoever's following the project, a couple questions I had come through, and one of them was, can I run this without a generator running? So I actually have this plugged into the wall, and down on my dog's bed here, this is the variable frequency drive. I got it running at 1750, and then I'll show the amperage, inline amperage at 1.8 amps. Now, just for the heck of it, I went ahead and filled up the core full of water. You know, that was my wife had suggested that. So I actually have 8 quarts of. Is it 8 quarts? No, 2 pints. I have 2 pints in there, just so I can kind of keep track of that. I started at 87 degrees. Now, I don't think my gapping's probably right to be trying to heat water, but nonetheless, I think I would have to have a much tighter gap because the viscosity is so much thinner. But it is increasing, so it's doing something there. But you can hear it's real quiet. I just basically have a piece of cork between here and the table, just to stop any kind of rattling that may be from any of the tools I have kind of laid out here. And oh, by the way, my new TIG welder, Everlast 205S series. If anyone who's interested in fabricating out of their shop, I would highly recommend it. It is a very versatile machine. You got probably one of the most controlled stick arcs you can run as far as stick goes. It's a full 200 amp machine. It's a plasma cutter, 50 amp plasma cutter, and also it's a 200 amp TIG welder, which has the pulse functions inside of it. So I don't want to make this about this, but nonetheless, if you guys you really want a really nice TIG welder for a decent, I mean, Miller, Hobart, who else can, Lincoln, all those other guys, name brand Nike shoes, their machines are wonderful, but for the price, you still have a wonderful machine at a much lesser price. So back to this. So we are raising temperature. It's if I was going to run water directly through this, which I think would be feasible, because the load on this is so small. And the 1.8 amps is actually the minimum running that you can run on this motor. So I guess with a more efficient motor, you could even run it even less. So we're 100 degrees, 6 minutes. I guess I'll just keep tinkering with it. Oh, instead of silicone in it, because my new fancy TIG welder, I'm able to do quite a bit new designs. One of my other options was running an actual, in between this distance between here and here, is running a water jacket layer in here that would have vanes. So basically it would start from the top and about a ½ inch from the bottom stop, and then this one would start at the bottom and go ½ inch up to the top, and then that way, and then basically have an inlet and a solid block and an outlet. So that way it'd go in and then walk up and down all the way around, maximizing the contact surface area, having, I would say, about a ½ inch square flow. So you got more volume in that smaller area, but still good contact. Actually, even probably going 3/4 by ½ inch would, I don't know. Well, I'll have to run the numbers, but you want as much contact surface as this, and then super insulating this as well, and then basically having an inlet and an outlet run into a radiator system with, I would say, just maybe a battery DC operated fan that's probably solar charged, so you're not really paying for that. But getting used to the welder, you can see it actually produces some pretty decent welds. I did get into some porosity issues. That's my fault, not the welder's fault. But I like my new little toy. But you can see it actually is able to put down a pretty decent weld. Going, and I welded 360 degrees, 100% penetration on those as well. But here's your up close and personal, quiet. This is what it really sounds like, so long as when someone gets this, when they take it apart, they have to put it back together correctly. So that's something that is very important. Done correctly, this is as quiet as it should be. It's, you know, here you go, there it is. So I don't know how much power we've used, but I went from 87 degrees to 103 degrees in 8.5 minutes at 1.8 amps. I guess I'll run the math and see where we are. And again, that's 2 pints, or 8 cups. Okay. Leave your comments, guys. See, and this is just the table vibrating. Any noise? I don't have it really leveled on the floor. Little dirt piles and stuff down there.